I wasn't looking for the truth that night. I was just scrolling through old memories. Photos of us laughing, holding hands, dreaming. But then I saw it, an unfamiliar name, tagged in one of her recent pictures. My heart skipped, then sank. Curiosity turned into dread. I tapped, and it opened a world I was never supposed to see. There she was, in another man's arms, smiles too real to be fake, captions too intimate to be innocent. My world didn't shatter. It went quiet, dead quiet. That's when I knew. The woman I loved had a different life when I wasn't looking, and she didn't even bother hiding it well. I didn't confront her right away. No angry texts, no late-night arguments. I just watched, observed. She thought I was the same fool who trusted her blindly. But I was building something. Silence has power, and I was collecting every piece she dropped. Screenshots, dates, messages, names. I even started playing dumb, asking questions I already knew the answers to, and the lies rolled off her tongue like honey. Every word she said became a brick in the wall I was building between us. She had no idea that the man sitting across from her at dinner had already buried the love. I found out why she did it. Not for love, not for passion, for status. The other man had money, influence, promises of easy life. I read a message she sent him. He's sweet, but broke. I need more. That line carved into me like a dull knife. I wasn't even angry, just numb, like watching yourself die in slow motion. She was selling a version of herself I never saw, and I realized I never really knew her. I was just a placeholder, a quiet investment until something shinier came along. So I decided I wouldn't shout. I'd haunt her softly. She kept pretending, cooked for me, kissed me, whispered lies in my ear, and I played along. My face stayed the same, but something in my eyes must have changed because even she started to look unsettled. I began removing traces of myself from her life. Canceled plans, became distant, watched her grow more anxious. She didn't know what I knew, but she felt the shift, the cold. I wasn't giving her closure. I was preparing the stage. I wasn't leaving. No, that would be too easy. I was going to be the ghost in every room she entered for the rest of her life. I started with the small things, changed my passwords, moved money quietly, warned people close to me without telling them everything, planted seeds of doubt in her friends' heads. One by one, they began to question her. Subtle, gentle, strategic. I never lied. I just let the truth find its way out of my silence. She began to sense something, like a bad dream she couldn't shake. She asked if I was okay. I said I was just tired. I wasn't lying. I was tired of pretending, of loving someone who had already left me behind in her mind. She started overcompensating. Gifts, affection, sweet texts, all fake, all late. I smiled through it all, knowing every word she sent to me was echoed tenfold to him. I watched her juggle us like a circus act. But I knew something she didn't. Her world was already cracking. I had started leaking fragments of truth to the man she was cheating with. He didn't respond, not at first. But curiosity always kills comfort. Eventually, he replied. And when I showed him just a taste, one screenshot, one video, one undeniable fact, he went quiet. That's when I knew she was about to feel everything she made me swallow. The man she chased started to drift, canceled plans, read her messages without replying. I kept feeding him. Not lies, truth. Just enough to make him rethink everything. She noticed, of course. Asked me if I thought she was acting weird. I said no. I said she was glowing. She smiled at the lie. I smiled at the trap. The tension in our apartment grew thicker. She was unraveling, and I stayed calm, unmoved. She still thought she was in control. But every day, the people she trusted the most began pulling away, and she didn't know why. But I did. She lost her best friend first. I had shared a photo, nothing explicit, just enough to raise questions. Her friend confronted her. They argued, screamed. She cried. I sat in the next room, headphones on, pretending not to hear. That night, she asked if I thought her friend was jealous. I told her maybe. She held on to that word like it was a lifeline, but the cracks were growing. Then, her sister blocked her. Her cousin stopped returning calls. Her circle was shrinking. I never had to lift my voice. Just open the doors and let the truth walk in on its own. Then came the job. I sent an anonymous tip to HR, screenshots of messages she sent while on company time, lying about being sick. They opened an internal review. She got a warning. Then another. I watched her panic grow. Her smile thinned. Our phone was always in her hand, always buzzing, always a threat, but she still hadn't figured it out. She blamed bad luck, Mercury in retrograde, the universe. But I knew it wasn't the stars. It was karma, measured and served. I wasn't burning her world down. I was just letting it collapse under the weight of her own deceit. She tried to win me back without knowing I'd already left emotionally. Bought tickets to places we always wanted to visit. Booked a hotel with rose petals on the bed. Said we needed a fresh start. I went, smiled, took pictures, played the perfect partner, posted them, let her think we were healing. All the while, the man she betrayed me for was ghosting her. No replies, no calls. Her confusion turned to desperation. I watched her eyes dull a little more each day. Her fantasy life was dying. And I was there to witness it. Quiet, calm, precise. She started asking questions she once ignored. Do you still love me? Are we okay? You tell me if something was wrong, right? I gave her soft answers, gentle lies. Of course I love you. Everything's fine. She smiled with relief, but I could see the cracks in her soul. Trust doesn't die loudly. It fades like a dying light bulb, flickering, failing. She tried to restart the fire she had already killed, but I wasn't a man anymore. I was a mirror, reflecting back the version of herself she created, and she didn't like what she saw. Her new man finally broke the silence. One message, you lied to me. That was it, just 4 words. But they destroyed her more than I ever could. She came to me, shaken, said someone was spreading rumors about her. I held her hand and said, people talk, don't listen. She clung to me like a child, begging not to be abandoned. The irony was poetic. The woman who discarded love for comfort was now begging for crumbs of stability. But I wasn't giving her anything. I was watching her unravel in the mess she made, one frayed thread at a time. She started losing sleep, tossing, turning, checking her phone at 2 a.m. I'd wake up and ask, everything okay? She'd nod, eyes red, voice trembling. Just a nightmare. I smiled in the dark. She was right. It was a nightmare, one she created and now couldn't wake up from. She had built her life on a foundation of lies, and now the walls were shaking. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't raise my hand. But her whole world was crumbling, and all I had to do was wait. Karma wasn't some cosmic force. It was me, patient, watching, unforgiving. Her health started slipping, panic attacks, missed periods, hair thinning from stress. She Googled symptoms obsessively, booked doctors, ran tests. Everything came back fine, physically, but mentally, emotionally, she was drowning, and I kept smiling, kept cooking dinner, kept asking how her day was. Every kindness was a blade. Every gesture, a silent reminder of what she lost. She didn't know what was worse, the guilt or the not knowing what I knew. I wanted her to sit in that ambiguity. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. She tried to rebuild, Started an online fundraiser claiming she was a victim of abuse. Said I ruined her life. Posted blurry pictures and half-truths. I let her scream into the void. Because behind every post, I had receipts, proof of every lie, every theft, every betrayal. When people started to believe her, I released the truth, slowly, strategically. I didn't need to defend myself. The facts did it for me. The fundraiser, taken down. Her followers, turned on her. The last thread she clung to, snapped. She messaged me again after that. Said she was sorry, that she missed me, that she didn't know what she was doing. I didn't reply. She didn't deserve closure. She deserved to sit with the silence she gave me for months while I slept beside a stranger. Eventually, she moved out, quietly. No goodbye, just boxes and silence. She couldn't look me in the eye anymore, not because of guilt, but because of fear. Fear of the man who never yelled, never hit, never cheated, but dismantled her with precision. The kind of man who remembered everything and said nothing. I let her leave. Didn't help, didn't watch, just listened to the sound of her footsteps fade down the hall. It was poetic. She entered my life with laughter and left with nothing but shame. I didn't need revenge. I became it. Months passed. I healed slowly, quietly. No rebounds, no games, just silence and rebuilding. People asked what happened. I gave them pieces, enough to understand, not enough to gossip. Her name became a whisper I stopped responding to. She reached out again. A long email, apologies, regrets. Said she lost everything. Said she didn't know why she did what she did. I read it twice, then deleted it. No reply. Closure is overrated. Some wounds don't get stitched. They stay open. Raw reminders of lessons that cut deep. She chose her path. I chose peace. I see her sometimes. Online, different city, new job, new friends. But her eyes aren't the same. There's a vacancy behind her smile, like someone living with a constant shadow. She posts quotes about healing, self-love, accountability. But I know her truth, and so does she. The internet forgets, but the soul remembers. She plays the victim now, hoping no one looks too closely. But the people who mattered already saw through her. And the one man who would have died for her. He's a ghost now, unreachable, unforgiving, at peace, but never forgetting. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I had never found out. Would I still be living in a lie, loving someone who never existed? Maybe ignorance really is bliss, but truth is power, and I used it like a scalpel, not a sword. There's satisfaction in restraint, in knowing you could destroy someone, but choosing a slower, quieter justice. I didn't need to ruin her. She did that herself. I just gave her the mirror and let her drown in the reflection. People like her never expect consequences until they meet someone like me. Silent, sharp, unforgettable. So this is where it ends. Not with fire, not with fury, but with silence. I don't wish her harm. I don't wish her well. I wish her memory. A lifetime of remembering the man who held her heart and handed it back in pieces. No revenge can match that weight. No karma hits harder than self-awareness. She built her downfall one lie at a time. I just stood back and watched, and when the dust settled, I was still standing. Stronger, colder, wiser. She thought she could play me. But I was never a game. I was the consequence.